wants to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hello, Mountaineers. I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley, and this is the Wolfman's Call for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And of course, is brought to you by our great friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon because they keep adding and adding and adding and etc. And of course, my good buddy Johnny Cahigas, Arson Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just the dip. Do it the AGC way. Number one, satisfying dip alternative. Trust me, I know. Let's get to the Texas Tech Red Raiders and tell you right now, batten down the hatches. Because that's what they're going to do. Now, I told you last week against Baylor, after watching the Texas Longhorns game, that I thought that Baylor would come in and try to throw the ball as well as their running game and their play action. And they threw for 421 yards. Well, the Texas Tech Red Raiders are averaging 365 yards per game in the air. I don't care what quarterback it is. If it's Donovan Smith, it doesn't matter because either one of those quarterbacks are interchangeable, man. Interchangeable. They're coming in that high-flying offense, man. And then you got Thompson right there, the running back, who's been there for, seems like forever. He's a senior, and he'll get his yards. And, of course, they got Taj Brooks, number 28, the other running back. So, got two really good running backs. They got 6 receivers that have 200 yards or more. 6. What? They got 2 quarterbacks that can run, extend the plays. Yeah, that Jordan Leslie and the defense, you got your work cut out for you. This offense is high fluid. Now, they only seem to score 34 points per contest, and that's not really doesn't jive with their stats. They're putting 483 total yards up, 119 in the rushing department. You know, it just doesn't absolutely kind of jive out with only 34 points. So a little surprised by that, and the Mountaineers have been scoring actually more than they do in head-to-head. And it's nice to see that lately the Mountaineers, I will say after the Texas game and going into the Baylor game, no, man, it's like, listen, we got to keep fighting. And hopefully they took that Texas game and learned from it and applied it to the Baylor game, because I think that's what I'm seeing. I need another game. I need maybe more than just this other game to see that, because this Texas Tech, this is going to be a team. Last time I was down there in Lubbock, Texas, I was getting tortillas thrown on my head. I think I ate one. I was kind of hungry that morning after I only had like 2 burritos. But regardless, it's tough to play in Lubbock. And back in the day when we were going down there, we were playing like early, like 11 o'clock in the morning their time. So we were trying to get them. All those times, sometimes we'd beat Pat Mahomes down there in Lubbock. Well, I don't know what it is about Texas Tech, but they get new coaches, release coaches. They all come in with the same system. They want to go really fast, really fast on offense, like really fast. They want to line up in tempo. They want to quickly, so you don't know how to line up, so you can't get calls in. Well, that's going to reduce your secondary coverage. That's for sure. It's going to be like, hey, we're going to have to play base because as soon as that ref is putting down the ball, and I'm going to show you some film of that. As he puts it down, he's running out. They're snapping the ball. The ref's got to do what? He's got to be a DB and backpedal. They're ready to snap the ball and go. I mean, if there's a fourth down or third down in short yardage, man, they're up on the line of scrimmage and they're going. And they might throw some screens. They might just be like, hey, hopefully we get the defense misaligned, outnumbered, whatever it might be. That is their plan. They want to blitz you. It's kind of like the blitzkrieg. Back when the Germans in World War II, they just want to blitzkrieg you, man. So you go blitz, coming right at you on offense. So you can't think. You can't focus. Remember that Kansas game when they are coming and you weren't sure what they're doing, misdirection. Because you know what? Texas Tech, they'll do some misdirection as well. And they'll come up with some trick plays. It doesn't matter. Cliff Kingsbury, Bet Wells, everything, the same kind of offense, same kind of philosophies, trick plays, fast tempos, throw the ball 100 million times. It's the run and shoot in 2022. But regardless, that's where it is with Texas Tech and their defense. I want to flip the ball over to theirs. They're playing pretty good. They're only giving 220 yards against the passing game, probably because they have to go against such a good passing offense as what they do. But here's the key. They're giving up 147 yards a game in the rushing department. See, here's what I think. I think they're a lot better in defense than they ever have been. That defensive line, and then Merriweather, I'll tell you, we'll show you that on defense. Merriweather, the Mike linebacker, is tough as nails. But those corners, man, they got like 14 deflections, pass breakups between the two of them. That's a lot. That's a lot. But if I'm the Mountaineers, I'm going to run that ball. I'm not so sure, man. I am not so sure that they want to stop the run. I'm not sure. It's a great test for the Mountaineers. Do you know this offensive line? Now, I said at the beginning of the season that WVU's offensive line was going to be the most improved offensive line in the country. I said it will compete with the top offensive lines in the Big 12. Now, Baylor's supposed to have the number one Big 12 offensive line last week. I'd say the Mountaineers offensive line, Zach Frazier, James Gamitter, Doug Nestor, Wyatt Milam. Man, I'd say they outplayed them. And I loved it. And I gave them full credit. And against Texas and Longhorns, even though they weren't as good against the run of Texas, they did pretty good in the passing game. They gave JT Daniels some time. And, I was looking at the TFLs, and Mountaineers are in the top 35 in TFLs. That's pretty good considering that all these teams, like Texas Tech, what they like to do is they like to get those TFLs. And Texas Tech is an example of that, especially with those defensive linemen that we will look at. So they want to create some pressure. They want to make big plays. I mean, when they beat Texas Longhorns, you know how they beat them? They beat them with their receivers over the top. Because Texas was taking it to them. Texas is a better team. But not that day. The second half, the Red Raiders came out and outplayed the Longhorns, especially the long balls. So regardless, that's what it's about. And you got to make big plays. So I told you the last couple of weeks that the Mountaineers were 95-14 since 2002 when winning the turnover battle. Told you that Mountaineer Legends pregame, all that good stuff, all the time. And people, it's a cliche. Well, no, it's not a cliche. No, it's not. They're now 96-14 when winning the turnover battle since 2002. Make sure we put that in there. Yeah, it's not a cliche, man. Win the turnover game. You're in Lubbock, Texas. Okay? Not only do you have the win going around, you have to establish a running game. It amazes me how Texas Tech has that offense with that win that they have out there. I think you just get used to it or something because it can get a little crazy. Jones Stadium down there, should be another sellout, another hostile crowd in Texas, like the Mountaineers had against the Longhorns. Hopefully, they'll do a lot better in Lubbock than they did in Austin, and be ready for this and be ready for the speed. You know, it's so simple. The Red Raiders, they just throw that ball around. It's pitch and catch. That's what it really is. Pitch and catch, and they're going to pitch and catch, and they'll go 7 yards, 10 yards. Okay, and then they're going to go a little deeper, the 15, 18-yard routes, and then they're going to try to hit you with a home run ball. And they can do all three. As I'm going to show you in the film, I actually went extensively into showing you the passing game and showing you the tempo. And, you know, the running game, I think that if there's anything that we're strength against and defense, is that. So that to me is not the issue. I think it's their passing, okay, Texas Tech, it's their passing game, and it's our running game added in with JT Daniels. And I don't want to sit there and exclude JT Daniels. I say our running game, okay? What I do want to say is that his management of the running game. Because I'll tell you, man, that's Sam James pass last week against Baylor. I'm still kind of amazed by it. It was almost on the level of other great passes by Mountaineers, even including, and it's not at the level, so don't say I'm saying it's that level, but even including like the Will Greer to Gary Jennings for timing-wise, that he threw from the opposite hash to the sidelines, and it just missed by the defender, and it just got into the white line. It was just that ball dropped right where it had to have dropped for it to be legal. Again, it had none of the implications of a Will Greer, Gary Jennings, none of that. But the throw was amazing. And that's what JT Daniels has. And if you notice how well that he's been stepping up in the pocket and throwing the ball, have you noticed that? I have, maybe because I watch film like crazy till my eyes go outside and go bonkers. But JT Daniels and his decision-making truly has been fairly special for the most part. I mean, maybe Texas game, maybe they all had some flaws. You know, they even go back to the Pittsburgh game. When you think of Pittsburgh, it was there, it was close, and there's some really great receptions in that. But there's also some other things. I think right now he'd be making those throws. So I'm really excited about JT Daniels for the second half of the season. And I don't think he's a guy that's going to be like, I need the numbers for passing. I think he's a guy that says, I want to win. And by doing that, I will get everything I need to get for myself. But more importantly, I'm going to get this for the team. I hope that's what he's thinking. It appears to me like he's running this offense in a really, really efficient way. So I'm excited about that. Now, let's go ahead and get into this get into this Texas Tech Red Raider game breakdown, because it's big, man. This is big. The secondary has to stand up. The secondary, I'm looking. You got Jacoby Spells, man, a freshman in there, a freshman. And you know what? You're not afraid. And I've come to really appreciate that. And some of the other guys, Aubrey Burks, man, keep playing. You know, Dave Smalinchik, just keep playing. You're young. Keep going, man. You're going against some of the best competitions in wideouts. You know, you go back to Xavier Worthy, right? And then you have, of course, last week, Baldwin. Just really excellent. And now you take your pick with the receivers. They just always have great receivers. And I'm going to show that it's unbelievable. And now they're even adding the tight end in to the game. And they'll keep them in the box, kind of that H spot, or they'll go ahead and they'll split them out, keeping the same personnel, the defense in to defend it. And big old 6 foot, he can catch the ball. 245 pounds, he can move. So he's also, you got to watch the tight end. Told you last week, watch the tight end. Watch the tight end. Oh, the joy of it all. But here, let's go ahead and talk and show you about what Texas Tech, the Red Raiders are, and the offense.
Hi, I'm Sean Martin. I'm from Bluefield, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Mercer County, you will find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Par-Mar. There are literally hundreds of Par-Mar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Par-Mar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Par-Mar. West Virginia proud, West Virginia strong, and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Where do the true gold and blue faithful go for the best in beer, burgers, pizza, wings, and more? It's the Mountaineer Tap House on the Evansdale campus. Mountaineer Tap House features well over 40 craft beers on tap, plus the best appetizers, salads, burgers, wings, pizza, and tacos the University City has to offer. Enjoy their exclusive craft cocktails too. Dine on the balcony or chill out inside with walls and walls of TVs. Follow Mountaineer Tap House on social media. Mountaineer Tap House, second floor above the Par-Mar store on the Evansdale campus.
Let's break down this Texas Tech Red Raider offense. They're scoring 34 points per game, 365 yards through the air, 119 on the ground. They have two quarterbacks. One is Donovan Smith. He's got a 66% completion percentage. He has 11 touchdowns, but he also has 7 picks. And then you have Baron Morton, and he has 3 touchdowns and 3 picks at about 64% completion. It doesn't matter. These quarterbacks are both interchangeable, and they both can play under pressure. Watch the blitz pick up. And the two backers, they pick it up fine, the offensive line, throw it right out there, of course, to the receiver. Now, they have 9 receivers that have double-digit receptions, and they have 6 receivers that have 200 yards or more in receiving. That's huge. Oklahoma State is bringing 7 defenders. What's the quarterback going to do? Baron Morton, he's got to release the ball quickly, right? There he goes. Look at that. What a release, catch, easy pickets. Putting the blitz on can be difficult at times. The Mountaineers are going to have to mix it up. Jordan Leslie, get your game on, man. Here's the game in itself. Look at down here. This game is about tempo for the offense of Texas Tech. They're going to throw a short yardage play. What do they got to do? Look right there. That's what they do. They get 8 yards. They're just going to tempo you. They're going to line up as fast as they can. Check this one out. And speaking of tempo, you're going to see this ref here. He just spotted the ball. He's trying to run back. They're already going. The ball's already snapped. Look at this. The secondary is not even aligned right. Right here, you have 2-on-1. He has to get over there. This is 4th and short. They're going so fast that the secondary is not aligned in the proper place, and it's an easy garbage first down. Look at the bottom screen right here. You're going to see 3 offensive Texas Tech blockers and 3 defensive blockers. Again, watch. All this is tempo. This is in the red zone. And what do? He throws it to the simple screen. Just an extension of the run game, but there you go. The numbers are there. Oklahoma State was outnumbered. Again, it's because of the secondary and defensive alignment. Not only do they have 6 receivers with 200 yards or more in receiving, or 9 receivers with double-digit catches, they have 9 receivers averaging 10 yards or more. Watch Bradley here at the bottom. All he does is a quick slant. He catches the ball with his hands. That's a redshirt freshman at 6'5", and he runs like a gazelle. What else do they like to do in the passing game? Well, they like to move the pocket and put the quarterback outside the pocket, rolling around because they're pretty darn accurate. You got to see Morton here throwing to his right. All it is, again, it's just a simple 10-yard out, and it's pass catch. Easy pickings. You know what else Texas Tech Red Raiders like to do? They like to go formation sideline. We're going to take the receiver here. He's going to go ahead. He's going to do a slant across. Everybody else is taking him into the boundary. He's going to go to the middle. Because why? Ass open. Yeah. Very nice. Great game planning. Great execution. Again, he catches it. 6'5", man. Look at that fast cat. And you want to talk about RPO. Well, the Red Raiders do it. Watch as you see the offensive line and the fake handoff influencing this whole secondary box so that this opens up right there. Excellent execution. RPO, run pass option. Wide open, first down, and more. And remember, with the tempo and the stack receivers looks, 3-by-1 looks here by the Red Raiders, they go ahead and receivers get lost. Simple hitch right there, going for a first down again. Makes a catch, yards after catch. That's a big game. all by a simple hitch and stacking the receivers. Will the Red Raiders go for the long ball? Well, yep, they will. And you're going to see here a defensive Oklahoma State player is going to jump off sides. You see Baron Morton, smart enough to understand he's got a free play, goes for the long ball. Watch it go up. Penalty flags come down. It's a free play. And there you go, making a big catch. And I told you, I like Baron, the 6'5" redshirt freshman. Watch him at the bottom here. He's just going to go one-on-one, mano-a-mano. He's going to make the catch for a touchdown. The quarterbacks can make the throw. They can make any major throw that they need to make. Texas Tech, they're going to try something tricky, especially in the red zone areas. They will try to fool you. Right here, jump pass doesn't work, gets a block, but the Mountaineers have to be ready for any type of trick plays, especially down there in the red zone. The two running backs are primarily number 4, Sir Roderick Thompson. He's a senior. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. And, of course, Taj Brooks, number 28. He's averaging 4 yards per carry. So they don't run a lot, but when they do, they are effective. Kind of that run and shoot, man. And it's just the whole basis of it. 2-to-1 pass to throw. But here you see the guard age counter. And there's Thompson. I'm just going to let it run because the guy's a cat. He can run. He's bothered the Mountaineers for years. You see him here coming right up to him. They can run up the middle now. And once he gets in the open, watch out because he's quick, he's fast, and he's twitchy. How about this in the red zone? There you go. Look at that. Right there, wide open, man, wide open. One of these days, they're going to do a breakdown on goal line protection. And you're going to see going to the outside, fast enough, quick enough to get to the outside against his Oklahoma State Cowboy defense. And he can sit there and he can bounce. The play's not there. The hole's not there. He can bounce it outside. And, of course, now watch the quarterback. That's Morton right there. Now, the quarterback can run. I told you, either quarterback, whether it's Donovan Smith or you see right here in the quarterback read, touchdown. How do you hurt this Texas Tech Red Raider offense? Well, you have to hurt them in the TFLs. They're giving up 9 TFLs per game. That's 124th in the country. You see right there, just blow up the play. Got to blow up the running play between the two quarterbacks. The Red Raiders have 14 touchdowns throwing the ball. They also have 10 interceptions. This is how you got to hurt them. The Mountaineers have been figuring that out. Baylor, they had to get turnovers. Well, you're going to need turnovers against Texas Tech as well. You got to get in the backfield. You got to put pressure. This is going to be a coverage sack. You see that the DBs are covering the wide receivers. The defensive line gets to them from Oklahoma State. And again, right here, this is not a coverage sack. This is a blown offensive lineman play. You can get to the Texas Tech Red Raiders, put the pressure on them. Don't give the receivers wide open releases and free to run through air. So that was the Texas Red Raider offense. And let me tell you, whether it's Donovan Smith, whether it's Baron Morton, it doesn't matter. It had 3 quarterbacks that have thrown in games, and it doesn't matter who comes in because that's how they play it. So don't worry about it. They're interchangeable. But did you see that pop pass, the jump pass that it had? Yeah, that's what you got to watch out for, especially in that red zone. Because, again, Texas Tech is going to come with something tricky, something unorthodox. And for some reason, that's what they like. But I think if you go ahead and you look at that, if the defensive backs, how are they going to do this? Okay, Jordan Leslie, when you're breaking this down, say, how in the world are we going to stop this Red Raider offense with the young guys that we have? Well, you're going to have to break it. You're going to have to make it really simple. Simple coverages, simple communication. There's no other way to do this. You're going to have to try to get pressure when you can, but at the same time, you have to corral the quarterbacks because they're runners and they can extend plays. You have to go ahead and be able to secure the run. But at the same time, you have to figure out how to go ahead and defend this passing game. It's pitch and catch, pitch and catch, pitch and catch. Line up really quick, pitch and catch. Line up really quick. Oh, no, here comes the motion. Oh, now we're going to use the whole field. Misdirection. Woo. Come on. Crazy old fire drill. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of crazy fire drill. Well, how does Jordan Leslie and his defensive coaching staff go ahead and defend this? Well, it's not like I'm sitting here with all the answers in the book, and my magic ball seems to be off this week. I'm going to have to send it out to get it repaired. So I can't see the future. But I will tell you this. I know that they're going to test you. I know that they're going to try to push and fast. They got to keep the coverages simple. Keep the defenses simple because they're going to push it. And these DBs that we have, they're going to have to just know that this is my coverage we're in, and it's one or two different coverages, maybe three. But it can't be much more than that because how are you going to have to be able to communicate across the field when the ref is blowing the whistle and he's running out, and so he's 2 seconds running out, and they're snapping the ball. And they're trying to press you. They're moving over here, and they're moving over here. And then they're going to go ahead and move the pocket out and throw them over here. And then they're going to misdirection and go back the other way. Again, it's coming right at you. So how are you going to do it? Well, simple. Keep it simple. That's how you have to do it. Play fast, aggressive. You're going to give up some yardage. Maybe get up there and find a way to go ahead and put hands on them, redirect them so they're not just running on by you without touching them, like the Longhorns game. Maybe like a little bit like Baylor. 421 yards. I think someone said, I don't care about the yardage you're giving up. Well, I do, because I'll tell you, if you're giving up 421 yards of passing game, you're giving up 40 points. See how they kind of correlate. 421 passing yards, 590 yards. Don't care how many yards they give up. Well, you did win, and you did. But guess what? I care. I care because that directly relates to how many points you're going to put up most of the time anyways. Most of the time. So I don't want to see 421, 500 yards. Baylor was throwing for 243 yards per game. Threw for 421. What do you think Texas Tech's thinking right now? What do you think that they're thinking? DBs, man, let's go. This is a great challenge for you. I feel optimistic. I'm hoping, maybe it's a hope that I have, but I'm saying this is a challenge for you. And this is some really good learning. You know, you can really learn from these games. You can really learn from the Texas Longhorns. You can really learn from the Baylor Bears. And now maybe those two teams before have given you the idea, the preparation of the speed and the receivers and the routes and the Big 12 and the passing game that is really elite by a Texas Tech. They're 3-3, Texas Tech. They beat Texas. They're not bad. These guys on this, it used to be just on offense, they were really good. And on defense, they were really swank. Not anymore. Not anymore. They are respectable, man. And they will TFL you and sack you and cause disruption. But what I like about their disruptions is their whole defense gets out of whack. Their whole defense gets out of whack. So what do you have to do as an offense to go ahead and feel that defense line? They're trying to penetrate, right? So one guy's here not penetrating, and one guy's here penetrating. There's a gap right there. I think in the running game, you have to take advantage of it. It's about the offensive line working together. If the offensive line could go against Texas and then the Baylor's defensive line and perform well against Baylor, maybe a little subpar, well, not maybe, subpar against Texas, at least in the run game, because I thought they did a nice job. Pass pro. Thought they did a nice job there. But what can they do here? They better be able to run the ball, and then JT Daniels can make his passes, throw the passing game in there, because I think that it's a really good balance. And I think they can strike it. I think they can score a lot of points with the balance that they had. CJ Donaldson coming back, right? Let's see how he does. TM, Tony, Mathis. Hey, man, you're my Mathis. I'll tell you what, I've been with you, man, all along. And Justin Jump Cut Johnson, the Triple J. Yeah, man, you keep doing some really good things, and I can see that you're going to be a major influence for the Mountaineers for some years to come, hopefully. And with that being said, let's send you here to some defense of the Red Raiders. Now, they're going to man you, and they're going to go cover 4 on you. And you know, JT Daniels is already, him and Bryce Ford they're already talking to each other because they know the communication, right? Communication between each other. And then they're like, hey, man, I got man out here. Bryce Ford Wheaton, I think this is the game for you to step up and say, yeah, this is who I am. This is who I am, man. This is what I do. You've already had some games. Don't get me wrong. You've already had some great games. But again, this is another opportunity for you to showcase your talents because they're going to man you, man. You got to be physical, man. You got to go one-on-one. Man, only mono. Right? Get your machismo going, man. That's right. Don't worry about those tortillas floating down there. You know what? Bite one and throw it back at him and say, thank you very much. I was a little hungry. That's what your attitude needs to be. Go down to Lubbock, Texas. The defense. The defense is giving up a total of 146 yards against the run and 220 yards in the pass. Number 2 in the Big 12 in passing defense. But the idea is this. If you can run the ball against them, that's what you want to do. But the one thing they can do, and that is TFL, as you'll see here. We got Jalen Hutchins. He's got 39 career straight starts, number 95. Watch him again. He explodes through the offensive line. That is great stuff there. Again, they will penetrate. Watch here in the red zone. Penetrate. That's a freshman right there. He's big. He's tough. And will they put pressure on you? Yeah, you'll see against Oklahoma State, putting pressure on you. Defensive line is tough. Watch here as the 3 of them press down and sack Texas quarterback. Wow. Watch it, man. They just pressure it. Outside contained. That's a great job of just crunching the offensive line. That is tough, man. All these guys up front are seniors and big, 6'5", 6'6". Number 19, Tyree Wilson right here. Watch him as he's going to rush this Texas tackle, and he's just going to blow by him. But he had 13 TFLs last year and 7 sacks, and he is tabbed as a major NFL prospect. Watch him right there. Look at that. Oh, right over. He's beating 2 guys to put the pressure on Hudson Carr for Texas. That's pretty tough. The offensive line has got to be ready because this unit will put pressure on them. Again, what's the Mountaineers' strength? It's been the offensive line. And I'm showing you this. Middle linebacker, Mike Krishan Merriweather. He is a 6-year player. He's 6 foot 235, and he is tough. Leading the team in total tackles with 50. He's all over the field, and he is absolutely the team leader. When you meet up with Krishan Merriweather, it's not Mary. You see him get up there, number 1. He's always right in the middle. He's a player. He's a baller. Texas Tech Red Raiders beat the Longhorns because they go ahead and they made turnovers, made big plays. That's how you go ahead and win games. We saw that against Baylor for the Mountaineers. It's not going to be anything different for Texas Tech in Lubbock. We're going man coverage. Man coverage. That means that JT Daniels, as a Mountaineer playing against Texas Tech Red Raiders, will know that he's in man coverage. Go ahead. Watch Oklahoma State and Sanders, what he does. It's one-on-one. And what does the Oklahoma State receiver do? He makes big plays. The receivers, BFW, Sam James, Caden Prather. You have to make big plays in the outside because you got to see man coverage against, here again, Texas Tech bringing 5, going man free. They got to go, and you got to make plays. Man coverage. You got to be strong enough to get off. Just like when Texas smothered you, the Longhorns, the receivers, you got to get away and get separation and make big plays. You're going to have to get the ball in the open field because Texas Tech, they will miss open tackles. They will take bad angles. You're going to see right here against Oklahoma State, they're coming in open field. Now you got to make that tackle. You're going to see here, missed tackles. Watch the bad angle. Bad angles right there coming in. He's just going to skadoodle right on up. And bad angles. And that's what the Mountaineers got to take advantage of. Say, trick play, onside kick, not expecting it to go right off the bat. Yep, that's Texas Tech. You got to be expected for anything in Lubbock, and that includes getting tortillas thrown on your head. Okay, I'm back. I am back. And watching that film, I'll tell you, that Texas Tech, I'm impressed with their defense. I really am. And they've come a long ways as to where they have been. And we've had trouble with them, but we are better than we have been as well. So this will be another true test another trip down, another hopeful victory for the road. We went on the road against Virginia Tech, although we did lose against Pittsburgh. Could have been a win. So I think the team can play well on the road, and then they're going to have to play well to play down there at Lubbock and watching that Red Raider offense, defense come out there, and then the Red Raider, the rider, man. Oh, that's a cool place to be down there. You gotta like their atmosphere. They will be a college town, and they will exhibit that college spirit that we all love with football and the other sports for that matter. So that's awesome. Mountaineers got to go against this defense. They're going to go cover 4. They got to go cover man free. They'll man it up. They'll bring some heat at you. They'll bring some blitzing. They'll try to disrupt you, tackle for losses. They want to move the chains back, not forwards against them. They want to move you back. So they want to win that first down. They haven't done too many turnovers, but I did show you the one there they had in Texas. But that turnover helped them beat Texas in the long run. So turnovers. I said it before. Turnovers. Go ahead and you can win with turnovers. And it makes me really hopeful. I'm hoping I'm seeing this defense starting to understand, starting to create a little bit more. And hopefully that gets them hungrier and the snowball effect comes along. Well, I'm going to say that's about it for the WolfMan's call, the breakdown, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. But if this team goes out, watch your penalties, watch your turnovers, special teams. You got to win them. You have to be ready for anything trickery coming around. Anything trickery. Watch out, because the Red Raiders will try to pull the wool over the Mountaineers' eyes. And you have to be sharp. And you know what? And they'll use a lot of speed and a lot of misdirection to get you as well. So the Mountaineers are going to be ready to go, ready to roll. Listen, you're 3-3 Mountaineers. The next step is huge. The next step is your step to take. This is your season. This is who you want to be. It's not who I want you to be. It's not who anybody else wants you to be. This is for you. This is for your teammates. This is for your coaches. This is for your family. This is for you. This is for Mountaineer Nation. Let's go, man. Sometimes you just got to pull up those pants, tighten that belt as tight as it will go, and say it's time to get ready. Rock and roll. And that, my friends, is your WolfMan's call for the Texas Tech breakdown. I want to thank our friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. And AGC, Ars and Granger Company. Switch to hemp, just a dip. Do it the AGC way. Let's go, Mountaineers. Hail, West Virginia. Boom!